Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I take my hair from this to bright white using products of my own at home. So stay tuned if you'd like to see the final result, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. To get started, you're going to want to make sure that you've got a pair of gloves. You're going to need some cream developer. So I've got this one here, Salon Care 30 volume. Keep out of reach of children. You're also going to need some powdered lightener. So this is by the company Ion, color Brilliance powder lightener, you can see there. And this one, and you're going to need some mixing bowls and some brushes. And I've got a couple of toners as well. So I've got this Ion Bright White Cream Toner Snow Cap, and I also have Bright White Icy White. So I like to mix these together to give me sort of a two-toned bright white color without it being a flat single color. So to get started, you're going to want to take your cream developer and your powder and mix those together. So first we'll put our gloves on. So I've been bleaching my own hair for a long time, and I have tried a lot of different methods. So I've done everything from dyeing my hair repeatedly using bleach to sleeping with bleach in my hair, every boxed bleach you can imagine. I've gone to salons and had them try to make my hair white, and it has been really challenging. So I found these toners, and they work really well. And so what I usually do is I take bleach powder, and I usually mix this 1 to 1. I should read the instructions. See enclosed instructions. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. Usually I just mix it up until it's a nice creamy consistency, but let's see what the instructions actually say. Keep out of reach of children. And apply developer shake. So I'm using a 30 volume developer. You can also use a 20 volume or a 40 volume, I guess. I find 30 volume bleaches the snot right out of my hair and is pretty hard on my scalp. Although I'm actually not a hairdresser, so I could be wrong. If you are a hairdresser, feel free to comment below and correct me. Alright, so I added that. I did not measure it. I'm just going to mix it up here. I have had lots and lots of horrifying hair dyes. One time I fell asleep with bleach in my hair, and I woke up and a big chunk of it fell out. So I had like a big bald spot in my scalp. Yeah, do not recommend. The toner is really the key afterwards. So get a nice lift in there and then tone it to a white. Luckily my hair is already a pretty light color. You can see my roots are sort of a dark blonde, so it doesn't take very long for the bleach to lift that. So you can see this is just a nice sort of creamy consistency now, not too drippy, not too runny. Okay, so that's all mixed up. I've got my gloves on. Usually I start with my hair damp, and I've got some product in it, so I'm just going to go rinse that out, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay, so I'm just going to take my comb, and I'm going to comb my hair back all the way. Alright, I've got my bleach here. Wow, it's bright in here. I usually do this standing up, but I'll try this sitting down. So I'm going to start with the roots since the tips are already really blonde, and I'm just going to part it sort of down the middle and start with that. I'm just going to paint the bleach onto the roots like a Bob Ross painting gone wrong. One of the first colors I dyed my hair was like the color of this glove. It was a light blue. It was called Lagoon Blue, and it was made by Manic Panic. And I think I was about 15 or 16 when I did that. And it was, Manic Panic was a very popular thing with my friends. And so I picked a color and that's what I did, so. Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever used Manic Panic. It's a cruelty-free and vegan, I think, hair dye. I know they used to dye their dogs all different colors. They probably still do. It's pretty cool. But you can still buy it at your Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada. And now it's pretty short, like I said, so it's hard to do just the roots. On the sides. Oh my gosh. Ah! So be careful you don't get hair dye on your nose. It's like, wow, that smells really bad. And then, ugh. That'll be nice. Okay, so this is not a how to dye your nose hair video, but so for the back, I just start at the crown of my head where I cannot see, and using my gloved fingers and my brush, I just sort of paint it on across the back and rub it down a little bit so it doesn't get big. And you can sort of feel it like soaking into your head. So as I go down, there's that. Okay, so you can also tell if you get it on your skin because it starts to burn. So I got some on my ear and it's burning. Just wipe that off with my glove. And when I'm done this, I'm going to go around my hairline with a wet cloth and just wipe off anything that's on my skin so I don't, bleach my skin even whiter than it already is. Okay, so it feels like the back is pretty covered, but I know from my experience that I always miss spots in the back and I always miss behind my ears. So I have to go and double check, double do them, double bleach, I don't know. Double check that it's really coated. So you can sort of, at some point I did the top before I did the back, I just went over it and blended it in. So once all the roots are done, you can just add some more over the ends. There are probably hairdressers out here just cringing at this, but this is how I do it. This is how I do it. Okay, and the back feels pretty done, but I'm gonna rub it in. I'm just gonna rub all through lightly. You know, at the beginning how I said not to rub it on your scalp. Well, now I'm gonna rub it on my scalp. Well, I don't want dark roots, because that wouldn't be fresh or fun. Okay. And I like to be pretty thorough about this because if you miss a spot, you really can tell. When you're turning your hair white, if there's any dark spots, you can see them. They're viewable. Viewable? noticeable. Noticeable. Very noticeable. Okay, so I'm just adding some more because there was some left. So I used like that much. Like almost a whole bowl. There's a goop left. There's a gob left. So I'm just gonna like add it onto the top and the sides. Just, I don't know, to be thorough. Okay, that's probably lots. It's probably more than enough. That's probably plenty. And that's a little, well, it's thick, so that's good. She's a thick hair dye. Okay. Gotta make sure you get behind your ears. So now I'm just going to go wipe off my ears and around my hairline so that my skin doesn't get really irritated. And I will also check the instructions and set a timer. Okay, so we're gonna check this every 15 minutes. I will set a timer at 15 on the clock, and I'll do a strand test. So we're gonna need some glass. Okay. It's important you get a good snap on those, or they're not on right. Okay, so a strand test. I guess we're just gonna check to see how light my roots got. So okay. Well, they are a nice bright yellow color. So 15 minutes is a little bit less than I normally would leave it on for. So I'm just going to mix it around a little bit and give it another, I don't know, probably 15 more minutes. I'm sure I could rinse it out now, but it's pretty yellow. And to get a really bright white, you want it to be as light as possible to start. I guess I could have used a 40 volume developer, however, I only had 30, so that's what I used. That's what I used. Alright, so I'll mix it around a little bit. I'll set another timer. And hopefully that turned out a little lighter for the toner. Yeah, I'm just mixing it around, make sure there's nothing sticking out. Okay. Get rid of those, set up the timer. Okay, so I'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll do another strand test and I'll give you an update. Okay, so close. So we're gonna check the roots and see how light they are now. So that's a total of 25 minutes with a 30 volume developer. So let's see. Gonna need a light. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's really quite light now. So you can see Now that's quite a bit lighter than it was on the previous strand check at 15 minutes, so 25 minutes. I'm happy with that. It looks pretty light, and I'm gonna go wash this out, and I'll be back to show you the toner that I used. Okay, so I washed all the bleach out, and as you can see, my hair is a nice bright yellow color, similar to this towel. I just turned down the lighting a little bit so it doesn't wash it out as much. There you go. So it is pretty yellow. Some people really like this freshly bleached yellow look, but personally, I'm going for bright white. So I'm going to mix up some toners and apply that and take it from yellow to white. These are called Bright White. They're Ion Intensive Shine. One's called Snow Cap and one is Icy White. And I use two different ones to get sort of, I don't know, a multicolor sort of look. So I'm gonna open those up, and I've got my bowls here. I'm gonna mix those both up and put that on my hair. And for my hair at this length, I will use about half a tube. And I mix that 1 to 1. Now, I think you're supposed to use a 20 or a 15 or a 10 volume developer even, but I only have 30 because my other 20 volume developer, the lid came off and it leaked out all over the inside of my bathroom cupboard. So I'm just gonna make do with a 30 volume, and that will actually lighten any remaining yellow as well, because the stronger developer adds a lightening. When you use a lower volume developer, it sometimes, I don't know if it's 10 or 5 is deposit only, and that'll just put color in. Since we stripped all the color out using the bleach, we're gonna use the toner to add some color back in. I think. I'm really not a hairdresser, I just do this for fun. So I've used these both before, and I know that the Icy White is a little bit more gray, and the Snow Cap is a more washed out white. And so I like to have sort of a multi-dimensional look, so I use both of them. And I mix them all together, which I don't know if that works or not, but in my mind, I think it works. So that's what I'm gonna do. Put these both in their respective bowls. And I'm gonna add some toner. Alright, so you can see that there. You just need to mix that until it's a smooth consistency, similar to when you were mixing the bleach. And that's a little bit too runny. It'll just melt off my head. Let me give it another squirt. Because you don't want it to run off your head onto your beautiful yellow towel. I'm gonna be alright. So I'll mix this one. Now a lot of the time when you're mixing up toners, they turn a funny color in the bowl. Don't let that alarm you. Sometimes they'll turn like a pink or a gray or a purple. That's just, again, I think that's them oxidizing as it starts a chemical reaction when you mix these together. Alright, so that's all mixed up there. You can see that it's sort of like a shampoo-y consistency. This one is a little bit runnier, but oh well. So I have the Icy White on the side over here. So I'm going to take a few pieces specifically that I want, and I'm going to do that in that Icy White. And I ran out of gloves, so that's okay. We're just going to skip that. So we're going to do that there, and we're going to put a chunk over there. And we'll put a smear on that side, along there. I'm going to go back over and add in more all over, but I wanted a couple of pieces that were specifically that other color. So, there. you just go over any of the hair. Cover just like the bleach process. So this is the really white color, I think. I'm getting mixed up. No, this is the icy white. So that's more of a gray color, so I'm going to take this one, which is more of a white color, and I'm going to just go in there. I'm just making sure this is really well saturated. Which it feels like it is now. Oh, I should be using a mirror. And that one is done. Alright, so I usually leave this on about 10 minutes, but I'm going to read the instructions in the spirit of instruction reading today. So it says 10 to 15 minutes. There. There's a whole chart. So I'm toning. So it says to change or add tone to pre-lightened or highlighted hair. So you want to do a 1 to 2 recommendation of mixing and 10 to 15 minutes of developing. So let's set a timer for 10 minutes and see how it looks. 10 minutes on the clock. Starting now. And I'll be back to check on that with you in 10 minutes. Alright, so time's up, and I just looked in the mirror and I can definitely tell that it is changing color. So I can see that there's spots that are definitely more gray and spots that are more white. And so that'll give me a nice sort of white hair with a little bit of a gray effect to it. So I'm going to go wash this out and I'll be back to show you the final outcome. And this is the finished product. So as you can see, my hair is a nice light white and it's got a few spots of gray in there. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And that's how I used 2 different toners to dye my hair white. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. It's important you get a good snap on those. Keep out of reach of children.